I found my favorite restaurant in Germany, and I even found answers to a few questions. We have two wines. The price difference is 6,000 euros. Can the cheaper be the better? How does a classic restaurant, opened in 1978, stay relevant in today's world? And finally, is there love at first sight? Join me on the western edge of Germany to find out. With its countless castles and palaces, charming villages, and both the Mosel and the Rhine rivers, it feels like you have stepped into the pages of a storybook. Hidden away in the quiet countryside is our destination for today. Waldhotel Sonnora. When I arrived here and stepped inside, I was struck with the feeling that this was going to be something extraordinary. It's hard to explain, I just have a feeling.
How would you like to start? Maybe some sparkling or lightful white wine from the Mosel area, or what you prefer?
Here we have Marco Franzelin. He's going to be our sommelier for today. With welcome champagnes in hand, our first bite quickly arrives.
Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
It's a salmon tartlet with a cream made from Sauvignon Blanc grapes, ginger and shiso. A beautiful and delicious start. Now my palate is wide awake, we learn more about the menu. First up, there is the tasting menu, priced at 329 euros. On the next page, we find the Sonnora specials and a selection of classic dishes. They also offer a wine pairing for 160 euros. But before I do anything, I need to see the wine list. With me here in Germany is my friend Marco. On the way here, we try to manifest a very particular wine.
I just created a reality where we're going to have a Romane Conti Montrachet, the white Montrachet, for around 2,000 euro on this trip. Let's do it.
I opened the wine list and there it is. A YDRC priced at less than 2,000 euros. Yes. It's just 50 euros less, but it's still less. Okay, it's not the Montrachet I asked, but still, it's the Corton. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Manifestation works. But it's not that precise. The next bite is in front of us and has a beautiful presentation. A tartlet with sap mushrooms, poached quail egg, tarragon and crispy chicken skin. Intense flavors, a good range of temperatures and a nice crunch. And here it is, the big gun. A 2020 Domaine della Romane Conti Corton Charlemagne Grand Cru. This wine is still very young, but unfortunately the average lifespan of a Romane Conti bottle is tragically short in restaurants. So if not now, then likely never. Rolling up, we have the bread trolley. The pastries on the top shelf are baked in-house, while the breads down below come from artisanal bakeries outside Germany. The butter comes straight from Normandy. No question, they are aiming for the best. I really appreciate it when the restaurant sticks to what they do the best and leaves the bread to the baker. It's all about respecting the craft. The next dish comes on a bed of shells. It's marinated oyster, tomato vinaigrette, gin and seawater. It's a dish served cold. Even the spoon is chilled. Ultra refined, precise flavors here. I like it so much. I'm currently looking at the by the glass options, and to help you understand my excitement, let me give you an example. Imagine walking into a luxury car showroom and they tell you, you can choose freely, you don't need to buy, pay a small fee and you can test drive the cars. You can take the Ferrari Roma for a spin, or if you prefer, there is a Bugatti Veyron right there. Just ask for the keys. That's exactly what it felt like browsing their by the glass wine selection. Serious contenders, iconic names. Before diving into the truly big names, we started with a 100-point Riesling from 2020 by Domaine Zerig. After that, we moved on to one of my favorite producers. This is a 2016 Domaine Le Fleuve Pouligny Montrachet Premier Cru. It will be exciting to compare the two Burgundies. After all, one is priced at 420 euros on Wine Searcher, while the other comes in at an incredible 6,600. Can we taste this huge price difference? Can David defeat Goliath? Give me a few minutes and I will be back with my final verdict. Our next dish is almost too beautiful to eat. On this gorgeous plate sits a crab salad with avocado and a whisper of wasabi, all brought together by crustacean jelly. The kitchen nailed it again. Let's get back to the battle of the Burgundies. Do you know that moment when you arrive with a clear goal in mind? I came here determined to find a white Romane Conti for under 2,000 euro. And I did. But along the way, I discovered something even more beautiful. With greater complexity and unbelievable length, the Laflev won. Of course, it has 4-year advantage, but still, David defeated Goliath. The next dish is their own version of egg royale. The original is typically made with smoked salmon, a poached egg, and a Hollandaise sauce on a toasted muffin. But here they have rethought it with mussels and razor clams, adding fennel and lemon thyme, and a crunchy layer of breadcrumbs. A dish that hits all the right notes. Back to the showroom. In front of me are the keys to a Bugatti Veyron and a Ferrari Roma. It's a serious dilemma, so I will take both for a spin. And here they are, the two DRCs right in front of me. The first one is a Grenache Chazot Grand Cru and the Romanée Saint Vivant Grand Cru from 2013. We are lucky because the sommelier allowed us to split the by the glass options, so Marco and I can taste more. Moving to our official first course. It's goose liver and Périgold truffles, a vinaigrette made of some Pinot Noir vinegar and chives, with more truffle in the brioche on the side. This dish is a masterpiece on a plate. Every element is perfectly crafted and harmonized. And now the timeless classic of the menu. A dish created 35 years ago that's still turning heads. The Tatar cake. On the bottom is a layer of Rusty, the Swiss potato cake. Then beef tenderloin tartare and a layer of creme fraiche, crowned with N25 caviar. This is the perfect birthday cake for me, because we are posting this episode on my birthday, December 8th. Another fun fact, this restaurant and the hotel opened the same year I was born. So this is a young restaurant, right? It was started by Helmut Tilges, a local here in Drais. Under his leadership, Waldhotel Sonnora earned its first Michelin star in 1981, a second in 1991, and a third star in 1999. After Chef Helmut passed away in 2017, his protégé, Clemens Rambichler, became head chef. He had been part of the team for years and smoothly stepped into his new role, allowing the restaurant to keep its stellar reputation and its Michelin stars. In January 2021, Clemens and his wife Magdalena took over ownership of Waldhotel Sonnora and began major renovations to update the dining experience. The result is what you see now. Right now, our next dish is served: langoustine. It's topped with slices of zucchini, lettuce, Tajasca olives, and pine nuts. The sauce is a rich blend of San Marzano tomatoes and Greek basil oil. And it's fantastic. The flavors of basil and tomato come through perfectly. And in some bites, the pine nuts added an exciting crunch and a hint of smokiness. Genius. Our lobster comes next. It's grilled in its shell, served with vadouvan and elderberry sauce, grapefruit from Jamaica. On top is homemade extra sauce made with dried shrimp and scallops, garlic and chili peppers. This is another example of using the best ingredients from all over the world. They aim for the best, and we are the lucky ones who get to enjoy it. The next dish is one of the timeless classics we specifically requested: frog legs. They are served with a sauce made from lavish velouté and poulard jus with mushrooms and onions. Fresh garden herbs, parmesan and marinated white herbs add the final touch. A simple yet refined classic, done beautifully. The sauce practically came to life and could stand on its own, while the frog legs were cooked to perfection. I'm incredibly grateful to get to taste this dish. It was unforgettable, every detail was perfect. Next is turbot. This dish features calf's head, a traditional French delicacy paired with N25 caviar. It's served in the delicate fish broth with spinach sprouts, rounded out by a sauce of leek as well as some yuzu zest. It's a rich blend of classic ingredients with a little citrus kick. With the arrival of a serious knife, we have our next course: saddle of venison. The saddle refers to the shape of the cut and is known for being tender and flavorful. It's topped with braised pork cheek, dried cherries, hazelnuts, lemon thyme and a touch of white cocoa. The portion is very generous, what you might see in à la carte. After trying the Bugatti and Ferrari, I asked the sommelier if there was anything else worth exploring. He gives me a wink and brings over the keys to a Porsche 911. So let me introduce you to the 2009 Chambertin Clos de Bèze from Domaine Armand Rousseau.
I'm a huge fan of Chambertin.
Marco is the perfect example of how to blend knowledge and personality. Confident, humble, and effortlessly funny.
I say something to you off camera.
He's the rare mix of skills and personality that makes him stand out. Our first dessert has arrived, served inside a lemon peel. But this isn't just any lemon.
It's Japanese miso lemon.
This rare citrus is slightly larger than your average lemon and has a unique flavor profile. It's less acidic and leans more towards the taste of grapefruit or yuzu. Inside our dessert, we find a ragu made from lemon itself, topped with crème d'Isigny, a luxurious, high-quality cream from Normandy, a superb palate cleanser. Our next dessert puts a spotlight on the Trevoux pear. It's combined with Makona almonds, a touch of Tahitian vanilla, and a sabayon made from parsley, muscat, and lime. The base plate is a classic luxury Limoges with something more rustic on top. I love the meeting of these two words. Perfectly creamy, fresh flavors. Christmas is coming, and I brought you an exclusive opportunity. Many of you already know that I own a Michelin-starred restaurant called 42. In early January, we are embarking on an exciting transformation. And by March, we will return with one ambitious goal: to become the finest restaurant in Central Europe. If you would like to support us on this journey and can contain your curiosity, here is your chance to secure your seat at the restaurant now. It could be the perfect gift for your mom, dad, or sibling. Even better for your wife, girlfriend, lover, or all three. And to make it even more special, I will include a personalized message just for you or your loved one. You will find all the details and the link in the description. Thank you for your time, and Merry Christmas. And now we are about to do something we have never done before on this channel. We were chatting with Marco about how restaurants' true character often shows through its staff meal, just like Anthony Bourdain used to do. So we asked if we could have a taste of their staff meal. And here it is, a German take on Hungarian goulash. I have tasted hundreds of goulash in my life, and as a Hungarian, I think I am more than qualified to pass judgment on this one.
You feel at home?
Drum roll, please.
It's amazing.
Incredibly well prepared. But we are not finished yet. Here come the sweets. First, freshly baked madeleines served with whipped cranberry cream. Baked beignets filled with rich chocolate. A delicate opera slice. A tartlet of mango and passion fruit, followed by a lemon tart. And in the glass, pineapple from Martinique paired with coconut ice. Finally, a classic semolina dumpling filled with raw nougat served on a bed of apricot. A sweet symphony to end the meal. Our total for today for two is €3,176. What can I say about my experience? Imagine this. Set a rendezvous with a girl for a coffee. You waited for the moment and it arrived. You notice how she moves, her clothes, her smile, and even her scent. This is what I did in this restaurant. Upon arrival, I checked the interior, the table settings, the delicate glasses, and the elegant movement of the staff. And I started to have a good feeling about this place. When you continue your date in the coffee shop, you notice how funny she is and what principles are vital to her. How original the conversation is, because you don't want to listen to the same cliches. And I found this restaurant where I didn't need to listen to the same boring second-hand stories all over again. Where the sommelier with quiet confidence was talking about fabulous wines, where the invisible perfection of hospitality writes its masterpiece to your heart. Because art and the restaurants have many faces, one will tape a banana and one will paint the Chapel of Sixtus. This place is closer to the second one. This restaurant was love at first sight. You can't spice average food with good stories. And for me, the thrill of perfection is what truly excites. And when you finish your date with the girl, you will have the feeling you will want to meet her again or not. That's happened to me. When I was sitting in the car heading to the airport, I knew I wanted to come back. And now here I am, on my birthday, the day we published this video. I could pick many places for this day. But after the rendezvous with Waldhotel Sonnora, I knew this is the perfect place to celebrate. And that does it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit subscribe. See you next time.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. say I